Hello, and thank you for your interest in the course. We are talking about ideas and iterating all about the mobile app design experience. Okay. So, in this course, we're talking about sketching, design thinking, some interactions, a lot of tools, resources to help you get very familiar with the mobile app design process. Now, if you're a novice or a beginner, this class is for you, as well as those who are familiar with the process as a whole, this class is for you. Because we go over so many things and resources that'll help you in the process, it may give you something to work with, right? So, what are you waiting on? If you are as excited as I am about mobile app design or designing for user experience as well, feel free. Join the fun. We'll see you in class. Again, hello, welcome to the course. Thank you first and foremost for your interest in joining the course, and I hope you are ready to have some fun. I'll give you a few things to know. Let's go over some background about me, expectations or goals of the course, and some of the things you may or may not need. All right, how's that sound? Great, great, awesome, let's do it. So a bit about me, I am a product designer. My name is Anticio Duke. I go by Duke mostly, and I have a background in engineering. I've been designing consumer products pretty much the span of my career, with the last 4 to 5 years in the digital space. So designing mobile apps, Apple Watches, things of that nature. So let's just say I span the gamut from analog to digital. Now that that's out of the way, I'm excited to teach you a little bit about what I know. So that's one. Number two, the goals of this course. As you signed up, you've gotten information about your project goals. So for those of you who have started and have gotten a little bit further ahead, kudos to you. Those of you who will do it along with this course, kudos to you as well, because we'll go through each step of that process as well. But that is just to give you an idea to work on something for your own personal benefit, to get the ideas and get the process down pat. And it's something that you're passionate about, right? At least it should be. All right, so that's two. And number three, some of the things that we'll need for this class, pretty simple. One, a couple of sheets of paper. Doesn't matter if it's lined or this is just printer paper I had laying around. And a pencil or pen. We'll start very simple and go from analog to digital, but we'll do it in an iterative way. Lastly, bring your imagination, all of your ideas. So now that you're ready, we'll start the next video and get started. We'll see you then. Let's get started. So the biggest thing that I find people have a problem with is coming up with an idea, right? One that's either sound. There's a lot of people that have ideas in the social space. Some have more in the technology space, and some just base them off of monetization. So there's a range and there is a gamut of ideas. There's apps for pretty much everything nowadays. But let's just start with a simple idea. So if you started on your project, this will go by very fast. So let's say I wanted to do, for the sake of discussion, have a mobile app on fitness, about fitness. So that's my goal. The type of app. So it'll be a fitness app. And I'm hoping you can see from my hands and my chicken scratch handwriting, but we'll just do a fitness app. And usually there are a few things that we want to itemize and have people do in the process of functioning with this app. So whether it's to show a list of exercises, and please don't yell at me for my spelling. I'm a designer, not an English major. Sorry. Show a list of exercises. Maybe display personal info, maybe calories lost, maybe time of workout, maybe routine, exercise types. So what I'm doing here is basically saying the goal of, or the type of app that I want to create is a fitness app. And in this fitness app, I want to do a few things, which is show a list of exercises, display some personal information on that, whether it's calorie loss, fat burned, the time of my workout, maybe something related to my daily routine or days of the week and what I do. The exercise type. So what we're doing is basically listing out what we want our user to do within this app. And this helps give a guide or a framework to what ideas and what we'll be sketching to make that app look and function as we want. As a side note, disclaimer, a lot of this is done early on in terms of designing a persona and user tasks. We won't get into that wholeheartedly now. Maybe that's something we can touch base on later or in a different course. But those are broken down into different tasks or specifications for the mobile app. There are clients that have specifications already defined, and we sort of refine those and tailor those to what is feasible. Excuse me. And there's some where, like, it's a startup and they have an idea of the overall thing, but we work with them to iterate on what those tasks may be. So what you see from this list, this gives me a framework to work off of the tasks that will happen in the actual app. So with those listed out, I can start something very quick and easy. This can happen on a napkin, or this can happen right here in this space. So hopefully you can still see this. So let's say I have my fitness app. I'm going to design it. I'm going to sketch it out in a way that I'm going to view it, which is on my phone. So usually they're rectangular, or you have phablets, and they come in all shapes and sizes. But let's say, for the sake of this, let's say I want to list my exercises, or list the type of exercises. So I know I have my header, and we'll get into the resources for each app that, or the guidelines to design for. But let's say I have my header, and then I want to put out a list of exercises. So maybe I want to do them in this form, maybe show an image of them, and show the type. Maybe this is chest exercise, maybe abs, something like that. And these will images that will reference them, right? So maybe this is shoulders. Maybe this is legs. Maybe this can be, cardio. And maybe this could be arms. So what I'm doing is satisfying my first goal, right? So this will be a view that shows a few things related to what that experience would be. A list of exercises. So when a user clicks on one of these, it may do one or two things. It may take them to a list of maybe the exercise themselves, maybe an instructional video or a infographic on what each one does. So there's a lot of different ways in how we can design an experience around the user, but it's all based on this big thing. What are your goals for the particular app? So moving right along, we can do another really quickly. let's just say display my personal information. And what you see from this, what line I'm drawing is usually the header. It's usually incorporated by a personal navigation, maybe a search function, maybe your data here, time date stamp. So I usually do this as my default. So just so we're clear on that. So let's say number 2, it's display my personal information. So let's say I go into, let's say, my daily or stats. And what I'm doing, what I want you to understand, I'm doing this quick and dirty with a pen, so you can see that this is iterative. Like, I don't know what's going to go here, but I've already defined my goals and what I'd like to see. So now it's just placement and how we can do that, how we can display each thing properly. So let's say I had a 15-minute workout. Maybe use this as some sort of time reference or visual. Let's say I can do calories burned, maybe pounds lost. You know, maybe these become icons for that. And then I start to get into other things like, okay, maybe previous routine, something like that, or let's just say the next routine, something like that, right? Or let's just say suggested workouts. And maybe there's a list. I'm expanding this because, again, we're sketching crudely, and I want you to know that this is collaborative. Nothing is defined other than the goals, and then we can start to display different things to support that goal, right? So suggested workouts. Maybe this is like a 15-minute cardio session. Maybe this is a, and it's in a list view. And maybe there is a 15-minute core. And those can probably lead me to somewhere else, which shows me the workout, or I can add them, right? So there's a lot of different things that we can do because I've satisfied this. I displayed, this is my daily stats. I've done the time of workout for 15 minutes. Some personal things that I may want to know is the calories burned, maybe pounds lost, stuff like that. So that solidifies this, and it maybe even solidifies this routine here, right? So I've already discussed on how we can click here and go to a different routine that's suggested on here, right? So this is what I mean by quick, crude, dirty. A lot of these are done in a way to just communicate intent based on the goals you set previously, right? So let's say the exercise type. So I've discussed this, but let's say we did click on 15-minute cardio. Let's say we display that 15 minutes, maybe cardio routine. And maybe there's an illustration of a person, forgive my stick man, doing some jumping jacks. That's part of cardio, right? Hey, now. Yes. I'm jumping high. I'm getting my workout on. So this is something that's, that we can do. We can just play with displaying states, but as long as we're fulfilling the goals, we shouldn't have any issues, right? And maybe this is a list of, how to, or those instructions. And, maybe step 1, blah, 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 blah. Depends on what type of cardio move you're doing, right? So this right here shows you very quick and easy how we've just outlined what the idea was, a few things on what we'd like to see, and some quick crude sketches on that. So that's fairly easy. Anyone can do this. We'll see you in the next one. Here's a quick tip for those of you who want to see some crude interactions going on here. Sorry for moving the camera so you can see this a little bit better. But What I have here is a Marvel app, and what it does is allow me to do some quick prototyping on the fly to kind of see exactly where I'm going with this. So as you can see right here, I've already started a project. It's very, very quick and simple. This you can download, you know, in very, very quickly and get started. So I'm going to do my fitness app. And no, I don't have any affiliation with them. I just think this is a quick and dirty tool to use to get started really quickly. All right. So, so basically what it's telling me is to design 2 screens, which you've already designed with me. So I'm going to show you how quick this is. I'm going to add, it's telling me to add some design. So what I'm going to do is going to hit the add screen. And what I'm going to do is select my camera because I want to take a quick picture of that. Okay, accessing my camera. And so the page 1 that we actually sketched out, and you were with me doing so, we're actually going to take a really quick picture of that. Okay, I like it, so I'm just going to use this for the sake of time. And then I'm going to add another one. I'm going to do the exact same process. Go to the camera. And again, thank you guys for helping me do this too. So I'm going to add just the last one because it is part of our entire experience and what we sketched out. Okay. Okay. This may be a little hard to see, but you kind of get the point. So now what we're going to do is select one of these. And what we're going to do is provide an interaction. So we're going to add a link. So I want to add a link to my design. And what you'll see is this red square show up on the screen. And since we're doing this very rough and straight to the point, you'll see kind of what I'm doing. So what I did was hover over the area called cardio. And I'm going to link it to an image. All right. So my target is my last one. It's what I selected. And also the type of transition. So I'm going to push it to the left. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this one as well, just so you can kind of see the difference. So I want to add a link. There is my link showing up on the screen. I'm going to select this and scale it. Sorry, I have FFS, folks. If you don't know what FFS is, it is fat finger syndrome, and sometimes it can be a disaster to have. So I'm going to link to another image, which is the third one again. Hit done. Okay, so let's say I'm done. Now I want to play with it. All right. So I'm going to hit play here. Sorry, it's bumping me through different screens, and I'm trying to make sure you can see this too. Okay, so it's giving me some instructions here. Let's try it now. That was weird. Okay, so let's say we're here. We looked at that sketch and we want to go to cardio, and it takes us directly to cardio, right? So that's a quick interaction that we just made off of these little sketches based on our goals. Now that sort of thing helps you get through the entire process a lot faster in order to communicate to someone, a team member, a designer, someone else, on what that app should do and how it should function. Okay, so that's a quick tip. Hope you liked it. We'll see you in the next one. All right, so you've seen some quick and dirty sketches just to get to the point of snapping a picture of those and interacting with those on an app. So that's one step in that phase. So now we start to refine a little bit more. And I like to do something different. Okay. What I have here is these are some templates that I've designed, and I'll have a link to these. I usually keep these pretty much everywhere. And what they are is they give me that framework. Now I'm going to start to do a mid-level. What I like to call for these are lo-fi, because they're low fidelity, they're quick, crude, and they're just to communicate intent. These are a little bit more polished. These are a little bit more, these are a little bit more rough. I'm sorry about that. And then we're going to iterate again and refine those here. So again, this is a process. Marathon, not a quick sprint. So as you see, now I have my rectangular containers, the same viewport, if you will, of the actual device. So let's say if we wanted to recreate these particular screens all over again, but just refine them a bit. Okay. So go here. And now I'm being mindful of space constraints a little bit, because I know that these will actually translate into a better design later on. Now, I usually give a lot of space and or padding in case I'd like to add an idea, a tooltip, some suggestion for how it will interact later. That's just something I do. I usually add notes and stuff here. But let's just, for the sake of this particular timing, we're going to do it simply like this. Okay. So the same thing, just a little bit cleaner. So here. Now this gives you an idea of, from this sketch, there's more, right? Up here, when we talked about and viewed this particular rough sketch, maybe these were the only selection states. These were the only workouts that we had information for. This shows a little bit more along the lines of there's more. A user can scroll and sort of get more information or a more list of those exercises. So that's why we go from rough, very, very rough and crude, and we start to sort of refine those a little bit more. So moving on to the second screen, we'll do something like this. It's the same principle, same ideology. Let's say minutes, and maybe we say something along those lines. And maybe we just maybe we bring the suggested here, and we say add these. Now, mind you, I'm adding this to my workout as opposed to navigating, right? So now I'm being a little bit more critical along the lines of what I want to actually do. So let's just say I'm adding this to my workout instead of viewing it. Say there's a list of these, a list view. right? But this has, I've changed this now to a pagination style. So a user can swipe left or swipe right to see what else is going on, either the previous workout or a next workout. And then just add these categorically, or add these along along their workout habits. Okay. So now you kind of get to see, let's say 30-minute core. You can see why it's important to start from like something very, very crude to something a little bit more refined, because you start to make slight decisions on these. Not always, but you start to get a more refined direction when you approach it in this manner. So, yeah. So if we're looking at it from here, we have our list view here, and then we have our refined stats view here. And I'm just going to do something real quick here. So we're going to refine this. Maybe this is, we went to, this is 15-minute cardio. And then let's just say there's a YouTube video or an instructional video on it. And let's say we can actually start, maybe add it to our faves or something like that, or view the next one. So there's a few things we can do here. Or let's just say there's a list of videos here. So maybe this is 15-minute cardio plus. And then this is another video. Oh. So let's just do, for the sake of, since we're doing this. Maybe it has, as you scroll, right, it has the video, maybe some tips behind it. There's more information embedded behind here. Same thing with here. And then maybe there's another one. But the user now scrolls and they see more information. So you can see how important refining these things and doing it multiple times would help you in the actual process. So that's what we'll stop right there, at least for this video. And you can do the same thing now and go in and create your quick interaction for this, and snap a photo if you want, and override the existing one, because now you start to get that process all over again and work through it. But here you start to see, again, the goals matter. This is more important. And then some of the tasks and what the goals were for the actual app itself, they developed this. They got us to here. This actually influences and refines to here. And so then we go to high fidelity. We'll stop right there. Hey, so that was fun, right? Again, thank you for joining the class. I appreciate all of the comments and feedback, and I hope you learned something. I've put a link to a ton of the resources that will help you on your way, as well as some tips and tricks and some things that'll help you in general. All right. Again, thank you for joining the class, and please show me all of the fun stuff and ideas and apps that you guys have come up with. And feel free to link with me on any of the social medias. That information will be below or attached somewhere. Take care. Enjoy. Till next time.